Write on writers, read on readers too. And welcome to Books by Adrian. I am your host, Adrian Santiago. I've already got my shitty Wi Fi warning popping up on here, so forgive me if this is laggy. I'm also recording everything, and worst comes to worst, I can always re upload with beautiful, crisp images, but I apologize ahead of time if the Wi-Fi is wonky or if I cut out or whatever. We'll do our best as we go. As I said, I am Adrian Santiago. This is Write the Damn Story. And this is where we literally write a story in front of you, right before your very eyes. Let's put on some music before I forget. Boom. All right. Thank you to everybody in the chat for showing up. I very, very much appreciate that. Whether you are on YouTube or on Facebook, I appreciate you guys being here and watching. Let me see here. Yes, Martin, it should be recording. All right, y'all. We're gonna write the damn story in front of you guys, and if you're asking why you should care that we are the ones writing a story in front of you, well, I am now officially among many of you as a published author with both an ebook and a paperback edition that I can actually hold up in front of people now, just like the pros. Hey, check it out. Buy my stuff. 99 cents. Not for the Kindle, but for the actual ebook that you can read on your Kindle or Kindle app or whatever. 99 cents. You get the free short story that I gave to my newsletter, but you also get 3 sample chapters from the upcoming novel, Mythic Shadow of the Spark. It introduces the 3 main characters and kicks off the whole mystery plot and whatnot. And it's really awesome. It's a thing that I published. The paperback edition is $6.99, and I'm less excited about that. But I didn't really publish this thing to make a profit. I published it to practice publishing because I'm going to do it again 2 more times in the next 2 months. So, bananas. All right, y'all. This is volume 2. This is episode 1. We're going to be brainstorming. And if we can, I'll even knock out an outline, but most likely the outline comes next week. This week is mostly brainstorming and thought dumping and all that kind of stuff. It is the most audience heavy episode of the bunch because we're going to be taking prompts from you guys. I'll throw some polls up in the chat and all that kind of good stuff. And we're going to have a great time. It's time to go ahead and introduce my co-hosts because it's not just me working on this thing. It's me, Martin, and Mike. Let's get them out here in that order. Martin Lejeune, welcome.
Good evening, good evening. I am Martin. I am the co-author of these fine books. Because Write the Jam Story is always set in hotels, I have spent the last 3 days in a chain hotel in the Northeast for research purposes.
It's very interesting that you think that it always takes place in hotels. First of all, it was a motel. And second of all, it only happened once. This is only the second time that we do this thing. So
it must be cold in Florida. I can see your breath.
Yes, it's very chilly. Mind your business. Mike, how you doing?
Hey,
Mike DeFrench, welcome. Introduce yourself to the masses.
Hi, my name's Mike. I have written a few novels and short story collections. I really enjoy writing short stories. I don't have them to hold up, but Amphetamine Daydreams, it says below. So you can just Google that and you'll find pretty much everything.
Whoop.
And to his point, it sounds like 100% of the stories have been hotel stories so far. So
that's fair enough because there's only been one story.
Yeah,
but it's the use of
always.
The use of the word always.
So far, they always are.
I don't like the implication that I may have wasted my time for an entire weekend.
I highly doubt that that's the only reason that you are there. But what do I know? Hey, hello to the chat. Hello. Welcome. RC, hello. Shannon. Yes, hit that like button. Yeah, dorks. Look who's here. Write the bloody story. If only it was that British. No, it's write the damn story because that's what we do. Oh, yours, Martin, yours says that it's not recording? It should probably be, or is it recording now?
It now says otherwise.
Very good. All right. Excellent. Just wanted to make sure. All right. Who else is here? Oh, Ben. Welcome, Ben. Hello. Hello. Martin, what are you doing here? All right. Who else? Any other newbies? I think that's everybody in the chat currently. I'm scrolling. Yeah, it looks like it. All right. So hello to everyone. Welcome. All right. So here's the deal. We need to all decide on a genre, on a general plot, whether it's, a murder mystery or a revenge story, whatever it is, right? And then we'll also throw up, we'll also get from the chat, in addition to the genre and a general plot, we'll also get from you guys little story beats, little things that you want to see in the story, little prompts that we have to include somewhere in there. Like when you throw a rapper who's about to do a freestyle, you throw him 5 words or whatever, and he has to use them. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be like that. It's going to be awesome. You guys excited?
It's like
excited.
Comedy improv.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yes,
the literary equivalent.
Yeah, it was very funny last time. I remember laughing a lot. As I said, today was mostly going to be brainstorming and thought dumping. So it's a lot of writer's roomy kind of talking back and forth, pitching ideas. What if this? What if that? That kind of thing. And I'll keep track of everything I'll use Milanote today. I'll use Milanote, and that way I can share that screen, and I'll have the index cards up, and we can use those later for the outlining next week. Alrighty, let's start up a genre poll. I need 4 options from you guys on this panel right here, and I'm going to give it to them, and they're going to vote on it. What genres are we wanting to possibly play with?
I would go with old reliable for me, which is horror.
Horror. I have never written horror, so if it ends up being horror, that will be very interesting. All right, Martin.
Cool if it was a tie with
and
any other genre too.
Then we'd have to meld them. That sounds fun too. That sounds like a lot of fun. Let me start this poll thing here. All right, starting a poll. What genre?
I would be down for a thriller. I've not done a thriller in a while.
Horror, thriller. Okay, I'm going to throw in there. I'm going to throw in there crime noir.
Ooh,
because that's very specific and would probably be an interesting challenge. We need one more. Who's got a good idea? Don't everybody shout out at once. Should we make the fourth from the chat? Should we make the fourth one from the chat?
Yeah, well, let's see what chat says.
All right, so I'm seeing romance. I'm seeing horror romance, which is, whew, oh boy.
Is animation an option? Do a Pixar thing?
I don't believe it is. No, because that would take a lot more episodes. Dead air. Do we have to? Oh yeah, there was some dead air. Shut up, Richard. You always
don't tell him to shut up. People shutting up was a problem in the first place.
Hey, that's actually a good short story title. Dead air.
Ben Pig says we should write erotica.
Erotica.
The problem with doing all
it's
these
gonna get
streams,
your YouTube channel banned.
Yeah, it's listed as adult.
The problem you have doing all these streams is you do find yourself talking like a noir detective, narrating your life whenever anything goes quiet because you're so used to just vamping the space.
I'm not. I don't think that sounds like a bad thing. This is going to be a contest for Adrian's love between Martin and Mike. No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
What about
that's
religious fiction?
Religious. Ooh, actually, that sounds kind of cool. I grew up reading a lot of Christian novels and stuff. I could do that.
That just brings up so many more questions than it answers.
Does it? I think a lot of people grew up like that. All right, so religious.
It's just an
fiction.
idea. I kind of romance
great idea
too. Could be fun.
All right, everybody in the chat, the poll is up. Start voting, and we'll do another one in a little while for the rest of the rest of the stuff. For now, we'll chit chat back and forth here.
If we're doing like a religious fiction and horror, could we do like a Cthulhu thing?
Or like an exorcism thing?
You're not stating what religion it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it could be any. You know,
what's that one with the spaghetti monster?
The flying spaghetti monster.
It's
Pastafarian.
Pastafarian.
Pastafarian religious fiction.
Heartwarming Pastafarian story.
Hilarious. Yep, that's right. Pastafarian. Didn't we do religious fiction for the Tuber Book Club? Actually, yeah, technically we did with Kent Sean's novel Blind Spot.
Asking Richard to give him a plug.
Yeah. I mean, he has it listed as urban fantasy, which applies, but it's definitely religious fiction as well because he's definitely like deep into that. Sequel. Pasta la vista, baby. Let me see what's the poll saying so far. All right, looks like thriller is in the lead. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I haven't put it up yet. You got horror at 25%, thriller at 50%. Nobody wants to play with my crime noir, and religious fiction is at 25%. I'm gonna leave it up for a few more minutes. See if anybody else comes.
My thing with horror is like no matter what genre I try to write, I end up putting a lot of horror into it, like the tropes and the feeling from it.
May you be touched by his noodly appendage. Martin, your video feed is frozen.
Oh no, I'm just sitting very still.
Yeah.
Are you a ventriloquist?
I thought you were trying to staring contest me, and I was about to take you on. But it was pretty intimidating because I've seen you blink in a while.
Why are you refusing to vote, Richard? Because I didn't put.
He wants to be the tiebreaker at the very end.
To be fair,
he's gonna
when
hold his
Richard
vote.
votes, bad things happen.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. It's kind of an inside joke, but not. I like that, Martin. That was a good one. All right. Horror is at 40%. Thriller is at 40%. Neck and neck. Religious fiction continues to fall, but somebody finally voted for crime noir. All right. Whoever you are, thank you very
much.
much.
Snail, by the way, he is the best beta reader in the land. Although
is it beta reader or is it beta reader?
Oh, someone hasn't been.
Well, in America, we call it beta reader.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
Beta isn't a hater.
What is happening in my chat? What did we do?
I see y'all want me to talk American.
Oh shit, that is terrible. That's your American accent.
It's probably better than my British.
Is, boy.
It's 100% better than my British, but it's still like way worse than like Benedict Cumberbatch's American. Like that's really bad. Like that's worse than when Cumberbatch did that Penguin documentary.
That wasn't an accent. That was just inability to name birds.
He can't pronounce penguin. Penguin.
Penguins. You now.
All right. I'm gonna since the poll keeps changing, it keeps evolving. So I'm not. I don't know if I should stop it yet. It's still going. All right, let me see here.
Is it from people changing their votes or like?
I don't think they can.
No,
can you vote more than once?
Chat, let me know. Can you guys vote more than once? Because I don't think you can do that either.
Nah, just
just start clicking.
Just the once, right? Yeah, no, it's just once. I guess more people are watching than I thought. All right, here we go. Ending the poll in 30 seconds. Get your last minute votes in if you have not voted yet. And then we're going to move on to the next criteria. All right. Was that 30 seconds? I don't even know. All right. Pole dancing. Richard. Pole dancing. All right. Here we go. Lovely. Results. Looks like Mike got his wish. Horror wins with 42%.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I mean, that's fun. It's fun to representation.
Well, this is great because I've never written a straight up horror story. Martin, you?
It usually goes wrong and ends up adorable.
That means you get the third part, the third third of the story. I want to see you end it adorably after Mike and I just fucking tear it up. You get the task of ending it adorably.
I like
Horror always wins. Richard. Poor Richard. Yes, it is.
Well,
but,
that's why horror is like
part of the fun.
escapism. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Let's make it a little worse. All right. So
it's
you've got
like going into a fake bad instead of paying attention to the real bad.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our genre. Next up, we need suggestions for the actual plot. So, like, what is the main story that we'll be writing? The main thing that's happening. Everybody, throw ideas into the chat. We're gonna throw ideas around here, and then
What about
pick some favorites and put up a poll?
Now, hear me out.
Go for it. I'm listening.
What if we have something that seems really mundane and everyday, but actually something weird is going on?
That sounds very Richard Holiday, like Nightmare Tenant or Price Wars.
Well, I was going more for that Twilighty show about that zone.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so something ordinary and make it scary.
Yeah.
Something everyday and mundane and make it scary. Okay. All right. Let's explore that. What's going on in
What
here?
if someone is staying in a motel?
Stop it. We did that. Last
Actually,
Mike, in case you didn't see it, in the last season of this show, we did it was in a motel, and it was like a sci-fi, like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly kind of dealy. Murder mystery kind of. It was fun. It's good stuff.
One would hate to be pedantic, but technically it was about people failing to spend a night in a motel.
That's an excellent point. Well, technically, she did stay there like once a year,
For
every
15
year.
years.
Yeah. So she succeeded. He not so much. Richard says it wouldn't be the first time that Martin ripped him off. Not a spin. No, we're not doing a spin.
Don't encourage him.
something new, something wholly unique. Yeah. Blatant ripoff. An AI that is a motel that is AI sentient. Altered Carbon already did that.
Dude, what if it was like a TI calculator that was AI sentient?
A TI calculator.
Like the most basic form of technology.
Yeah, and every time you try to do an equation on it, instead of giving you the answer, it just spells out boobies.
It just talks back to you. And then
starts
mundane, but then starts to tell you to kill people or something.
Martin,
There was
the image is your image is becoming unsettling. Like I need to see you, dude. What's happening? Why are we?
I would like it if it slowly zoomed in on your face over, just barely perceptible.
It's so creepy. That look on your face.
You are very serious.
Yeah, man. Like lighten up. God. It's supposed to be
He's
fun.
thinking really hard. Also, he hasn't blinked in a long time.
He hasn't blinked in a very long time.
There was a brilliant short story about 15 years ago that I wanted to adapt as a film about a self-aware electric toothbrush who had dreams and aspirations of becoming a milk frother. And the guy who bought it was just like, no, I bought you as a toothbrush and you will remain a toothbrush. And he goes on the internet and gets hackers to burgle him and convert him to a milk frother.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Richard, have you ever liked anything that other people enjoy? Or do you only like things that everyone hates? Like pineapple on pizza?
No, I'm pretty sure he's a Swiftie, so that falls into liking things that everyone enjoys.
Is he really? That's a shocker to me.
She can write quite catchy songs. I don't get how you don't like at least one of them.
I gotta admit it.
Wait, what was the previous comment? I missed it.
Only counts if the TI calculator is playing Doom.
Yeah. So the thing that the kid, it could be like a high school kid trying to download the Doom for the TI calculator, but then it ends up being like evil. I don't know. Are we sticking with the mundane thing, or was that just
we're kicking around ideas, man? We got time to kill. We got time to kill.
Shizzle.
Let's explore all avenues. If we get tired of this, the mundane thing, we'll move on to something else.
Okay, so what are like some of your own personal fears? What scares you?
Me, snakes. What else? Not heights, but like crazy heights. Like people who like jump off the stratosphere. Like that's terrifying to me. What else? Sharks. Terrified of like deep ocean monsters and sharks. The megalodon running around out there is kind of freaking scary. What else? Martin, what are you afraid of?
I don't like listing my fears on the internet. Where you use them against me, especially not when Richard Holiday is watching.
He's not the one you got to worry about. You got to worry about me. I'm the one who's going to use them against you.
Oh, you're just a lovable rogue.
Oh, the plot seemed good. This is about altered carbon until the character
that's like a kind of a fear. Internet trolls taking it too far.
Yeah, that can definitely
that's not
go
bad.
on the list.
In this day and age, not only is that actually scary, but incredibly possible.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Have you ever heard of frogging?
Frogging?
I think that's what it's called.
No, is that like dogging?
pH frogging. I think it's what you call it when somebody's like living in your house, like, and you don't know that they're there, but they're like living in an attic.
Oh yeah. I saw a video of a dude that discovered somebody living in his house. He thought that his girlfriend was eating his food in the middle of the night when he was asleep, so he set up a camera, and then come and find out that like a panel gets removed out of the ceiling and this lady like crawls out and eats all his food and pisses in his sink and like all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah,
and
there
just goes right
weird
back up.
Stories of that. I think that's horrifying.
Yes, it is.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's really scary. Someone in your house that you don't know is in your house.
Yeah,
and they've been there a while,
for like months, like
and
weeks. They're just living.
Yeah, they're just living in your house, and they haven't done anything to hurt you yet, but just the fact that they could, and you'd never see it coming because you have no idea that they're even there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty terrifying.
That's scary.
How did? Oh my gosh, it's so wild that person like lived in his apartment. Just think where you could put that toothbrush to make it both horror and romance. That one tickled me. War games with toothbrushes in the AI hotel.
Have you read Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells?
No.
That's a really good series about AI. It's about a
oh my god, I just got this.
Like killer robot who is like attached to a spaceship and comes online mid-flight and just starts watching all the entertainment feeds and has absolutely no interest in killing anyone and just wants to see the latest soaps. It's like a really good take on like AI. Possibly not what we're going for, but carry on.
I feel the need to defend you against Richard for this particular comment. I mean, he's the one hanging on to that photo because he thinks that we won't notice on his live streams that it's getting a little thin up there for him too.
I had lunch with Richard last week. He is Friar Tuck.
Friar Tuck, gotta love it.
We talk about him in our board meetings where it's like, the hair where you've got punk rock down to your shoulders photos you don't care about, the current photos you don't talk about, the photos where you look like Richard, that's the ones you burn.
I do not fear monsters or demons, werewolves or vampires. I fear what real people do to real people. That's where the real horror is. That was hard for my Puerto Rican mouth to say.
That
frogging is when someone
that's real horror.
Yeah, that's real horror. Yeah. The toothbrush thing. All right. So I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I'm not like in love with anything yet. Mike is the only true human on the screen. Adrian is blurry, and Martin doesn't move. The AI is being revealed.
It's because I'm on my phone. If I was on my laptop, I would be blurry too.
Yeah, I'm
like
only
this
blurry
fancy-
because of my Wi-Fi. I really don't know. It's a bright sunny day out. There's no excuse. I don't understand it. My
Although,
Wi-Fi
to be
just
fair,
sucks.
I think we kicked ideas around until midway through episode 2 last time before burning it all down and starting afresh.
Yeah,
So,
that's we're just gonna kick it around until we figure it
So
out.
we're looking for like plot ideas right now.
Yeah, just general plot ideas. Yeah.
So like another way to get a good idea would just be like thinking of like your favorite horror tropes or like the audience's favorite horror tropes.
Sure.
It could be broad or specific and kind of build off of that. I don't know. I usually don't do any sort of planning before I write.
Yeah.
You're a madman.
So I'm not used to which way. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I'm starting to like the idea of outlining. I think I could be faster without
I'm around to my side. Yes.
But the other part is a lot of times if I do it, it feels like wasted time because I end up ditching it once I'm into it anyways. So it's like I could have just not outlined and done the same thing.
I suppose.
I would say my favorite horror, but then Adrian would legit think I was trolling him, and I'm honestly not.
What is it?
The Shining.
Why would I think you're trolling me for that?
It's in a hotel. You'll be like, shut up about hotels.
There's a hotel.
I didn't even catch that. I'm so stupid. Mike needs spreadsheets, he says. Mike, don't listen to him. Do not listen to him.
What are you just talking?
Death by the AI spreadsheet. For outlining, he means for outlining.
Yeah. I have one incredibly elaborate spreadsheet for word count tracking and like speed tracking. It's basically like you plug in the numbers at the beginning and end of a session, and then it comes up with like so much useless data from that.
I've got one of those.
You know, it was a procrastination.
The AI tricks the bots, and they kill several humans whose device it indwelled. Very elaborate, yes. So wait, this one is with. Let me see.
I have an idea for an idea.
Frogger, and it is jumping from device to device to stay ahead of the bots sent to kill it. Okay, yeah, she's getting specific. This is cool.
I have an idea. What if apps were self-aware, and every time you remove one, they die, and it hurts? Is that how horror works? Am I doing this right?
would we be writing from the perspective of the app?
Yeah. I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it was just the first idea.
I didn't say it was a bad idea. It's an interesting challenge for sure.
Oh, Richard likes it, so it's probably off the to-do list.
I'm kind of thinking about this AI mixed with the Frogger thing. What if it was, instead of an AI, it was like a hacker? You know, because it's like hackers are in your digital home without you knowing.
So then we'd be looking at a totally automated home, right? An AI home.
Oh,
right?
Shit. Okay, I kind of got an idea.
And then it gets hacked, and the hacker starts doing stuff to the people who live there through the house. Like,
so that would be like POV from. It would be like a haunted house story, but technology.
Yes.
All right. So I have a different one, and it is. This would be like POV of the hacker. Would be the POV character, and say they're like, you know, they hack into people's private stuff for like to get ways to get money and steal stuff or stuff like that.
Sure.
But then they hack into like somebody's hard drive that has committed like really effed up crimes or something. Like he finds much more than he was looking for, and then he's like doesn't know what to do with it.
Finding this stuff is clearly
like VHS style. Have you ever seen that movie? You know, it's like
No.
found
No.
footage. It's like an anthology movie where it's like a whole bunch of short films. And each one is like a found footage on a VHS thing. So maybe this guy hackers like hacked into some dude's hard drive, and there's like really weird.
The problem that I
it.
see with that is that then the horror would have to come from the stuff that he's seeing, and he's not actually experiencing it. So if it's through his point of view, he wouldn't be the one being frightened necessarily.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
it
saying?
could just be like instead of spending a ton of time dwelling on, you know, the different things that he sees, could just be like, okay, now I'm in way too far.
I
Maybe
like
gets
the
caught.
idea. I like the idea of it being in someone's house, like it's a haunted house, but it's all the technology. But maybe you could sort of mix them and have him start experiencing the sort of thing he'd been dishing out.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So first we're experiencing the haunted house of technology through the eyes of the victim. Maybe that person by the end of the first half of the story is dead, and we can switch POV to the hacker, and then he gets his comeuppance. He gets terrorized by somebody, you know, Black Mirror style.
I was gonna say it sounds like a Black Mirror episode,
Right? It sounds very Black Mirror-y.
I wrote a Black Mirror episode. It was about someone that sold all their DVDs because they had Netflix, and then Netflix got rid of the programs and they couldn't watch anything anymore.
Terrifying.
That's a very Twilight Zone style
That is
plot. I feel like,
yeah, that's absolutely terrifying.
It reminds me of the episode where like the guy's like, I just want to read my book, and then the nukes go off, and he was like,
And he
trapped
drops
in a
his
vault, and
glasses.
he's like, finally I can read. Yeah, and he breaks his glasses. He's like, no.
Or the hacker lives in a world where cyber crimes hold greater punishment than in real life crimes, like child murder, but the person hacked finds out and takes the hacker's sibling or child, and the hacker. So yeah, so like revenge tale, right? Like the person who was terrorized like flips the script on the hacker. It's funny because it reminds me of like those videos I run into sometimes on TikTok where there's like a dude who's getting scammed over the phone, but he's a hacker, so he like hacks his scammer, and by the end of the call, like he's freaking the scammer out and making them hang up. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. Turning the tables. Okay, so we have some ideas that we're vibing with. Do we want to throw these to the chat to vote on? We've got the haunted AI house, right? We've got the hacker that's finding creepy stuff, and then we have what was the third one? The third one was the revenge switcheroo on the haunted AI house idea. Any others that we're liking?
I don't know. I feel like we could almost kind of like fit all of those into one option.
Yeah.
Like technology horror, and then like,
you know what?
Cabin
Actually,
in
you're
the
right.
Woods as
If
another
you rearrange
option.
it actually follows a plot. Like you could say the hacker finds, you know, the stuff that's incriminating evidence against somebody, right? He decides to terrorize that person to punish them himself by haunting their AI house. And by the end of the story, he's getting the same treatment and he doesn't know from who. Like it starts happening to him. Oh, maybe that's the twist. The twist is he's doing it by way of technology to a person because he wants to punish them. Come to find out his house is actually haunted by an actual ghost who wants to kill him.
Or
That's
this
hilarious,
person
actually.
thinks hackers are getting revenge on him for something he's done, only as
And
the
it's
story
a
progresses to
ghost the
realize.
whole time.
He's gonna think.
Only
He's gonna
to
think
realize
that
that it was an AI the whole time.
so he
A ghost in a shell. Okay.
yeah. Shannon was thinking the same as Mike, that they could all meld together. Yeah, I'm liking the way
So like if we're gonna throw it to a
moving.
poll, we could like have the technology horror idea be like one vote, and then we could do you know like a camping horror story, or like you know, throw horror into any other type of theme or situation.
Right. So here, let me make a thing here so we can throw some ideas around. All right. All right. So we have one down with the AI horror idea. And then what did you say was another one? Or do we not have another one?
I was just like throwing out camping. Camping, you could go so many ways. Like, you know, if somebody's on a camping trip and spooky stuff happens, it could be like
sure.
skinwalkers or alien abduction or
some dude with a hook for a hand.
Yeah.
Martin is still looking at me funny. It's really unsettling.
I think I saw him
I'm
blink
weighing
earlier,
up
though,
the debate of whether or not it's better to ask what skinwalking is or just to leave it be so I can sleep tonight.
Skinwalker is... Well, it might be
anyway.
To know. Yeah.
No, now you got to tell.
I kind of heard, what is Skinwalker? It's like a witch that can shapeshift, more or less, from like a few Native American tribes mythologies.
Oh, that's not as bad.
That's like the most simplest description I can think of.
But in the end, does the evil person, the hacker trolled, come and kill them face to face? I don't know.
It has
interesting question.
To end very badly for the point of view character.
Perhaps.
For a short story.
Perhaps.
Unless they realize that actually they have far more in common than keeping apart, and they just sort of nip down for a pint.
That's Martin trying to end it adorably. He wants them to be friends in the end. Like, he's just like, can we have a happy ending?
So actually, we pull back from the hacker's computer to reveal that the hacker is in fact an adorable collection of kittens up to mischief.
But then it pulls back.
This is what I have to deal with, Mike.
and you realize that actually it was all a dream, and the guy's in a coma, and he's not in a hospital. He's actually in some psychopath's basement who's keeping him alive in a medically induced coma so that he can eat him bit by bit over years, because it's the post-apocalypse, and it's this only source of food.
You guys know this is supposed to be a short story.
I feel like I should be the end and he should be the middle. So he gets up to the closest part where he thinks there's no way this could go bad. No way possible this could end bad.
Oh man. Yeah, this needs to be a short story, guys, and this is a lot. There's a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think we can get all of this in there.
Yeah, no, there's no way possible. I really feel like for the plot voting poll, they should be kind of like generic directions.
Sure. Yeah, so AI horror idea, camping, terror idea, whatever it is, right? Camping.
I'm down for hotel horror.
Oh no hotel horror. I need to go against Martin on this one. We can't repeat ourselves, Martin. I work in a hotel. I have actual hotel ghost stories.
They could be creepy.
Yeah, but they're true stories. I could actually put those in a non-fiction book someday.
Yeah.
Okay, so camping terror. I thought Adrian drove space shuttles. Here we go again. Richard, I buddy, I need you to get some new jokes, man. Some new jokes. Just a couple. Just one new joke a week. One new joke a week is all I ask of you, Richard. One.
He got a new joke about the pandemic, and that was it.
That was 3 years ago.
I know. He's so happy to have fresh material.
It'll come back in style with the next pandemic.
Next pandemic.
It's just a matter of time. You just gotta wait.
Why? See, that's horror. That's terrifying to me. Another freaking quarantine.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got two so far. We need one more. We need at least one more plot idea. So we've got the AI horror house. We've got the camping trip. And then what's another like staple of the horror genre? Another, obviously the camping one is like,
Babysitter.
cabin in the wood. Babysitter. Is that really one?
I don't know.
Is there any babysitter
you babysit
horror?
a creepy kid, or like your baby. There's a babysitter, and then the call comes from inside the house, or
No one's done anything with birds in a good couple of decades.
It's been a while. Birdemic was the last epic one.
Oh, I was just thinking of Hitchcock.
I've got drone birds in my novel.
Movie. CF movie.
Maybe we could do like birds, but with fish.
Fish.
Sharknado, dude. They already did it.
Piranhas.
Oh.
Piranhas, yeah.
Piranhado.
What about birds, but with bees, bats?
Well, bees are almost extinct or something. Somebody told me that there's like, bees are dying or whatever.
It's not looking good for them.
It's not looking good for bees. Wasps are scary. Hornets.
Mosquitoes. Spiders.
So you know how they use
Any insect really
pesticides,
would be
and
horrible.
now bees are nearly entirely collapsed. But with people.
That, but with people.
Yeah.
Well, like the happening? Like nature's turning against us? It's the trees?
Is that what the happening's about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nature turns against humans and we all start like killing ourselves.
They like emit a pheromone
A pheromone or something.
or whatever that makes people want to just kill themselves. Yeah, that movie was crazy. It was like zombie apocalypse, but nobody got like attacked each other. They would just like straight up just kill each other or kill themselves.
Yeah.
It's so different than like Bird Box or whatever.
Yeah. But that's a Mark Wahlberg movie, so I don't do Mark Wahlberg.
No,
he's like the one actor that I like hate with a fiery passion that burns in my soul.
really. I have so many of those.
I can't stand Mark Wahlberg. Like I will avoid. I'll tell you how much I hate Mark Wahlberg. I love Christian Bale. I think he's an incredible actor, and I love watching him in everything he does. He won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for The Fighter. I have not seen Christian Bale's Academy Award winning performance because I can't sit through 2.5 hours of Mark Wahlberg going, "What? No, what?"
Those memes are totally from The Happening too.
I know. I know. Oh, it's the worst. Ocean cleaning AI bots sent to clean up the plastic seas. Start recycling people because we all have plastic in our blood.
Okay, I am
true?
starting to get the vibe that you have some slight paranoia about AI.
Yeah, all our ideas are
soon.
AI just killing the hell out of us.
It's a logical fear. I get it.
Yeah,
I too have it.
And we should use an AI generator to write this story.
Yes, ChatGPT will feed it the ideas.
I'm gonna need
or whatever it's called
to animate Martin's image so that it looks like he was actually here.
We'll fix it in post. It's a live show.
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. It's fine.
Rich.
It's just going to end badly with ChatGPT being on some late night chat show being like, and where did you get your idea to overrun humanity? It's like, well, I was asked to write this story for Books by Adrian YouTube channel.
It's like the Skynet.
That's
event.
That's the Judgment Day like Inception moment for Skynet, right? Like you ask an AI to write a plot where the AI takes over, and the AI is like, "Wait a minute, this is a great idea. I'm gonna follow through on this."
This has given me an idea.
That's not a bad idea actually. Like it's like if you have a dude sitting at a computer, he thinks he's like on a AI website, like a nothing thing, like a fun thing, and he throws in a prompt like that, and he sparks the end of the world by accident. Like
It's kind of like war games.
It's a damn good idea. Yeah, like war games. Yeah. There's also a little like Ender's Game kind of feel to it too, like the whole like it's real, but he thought it was not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers for Ender's Game. Sorry.
Have you read Speak of the Dead?
No.
Yeah, it's one of my
The second
all-time
one.
favorite sci-fi books.
Nice.
Sames.
It is.
You know what,
It's
Martin?
phenomenal. I need to reread it. It's been a long
Yeah.
time since I read it, and I really do love that. I like Ender's Game, but it is nowhere even close to as good as Speaker,
No.
I think. But I think Speaker is better if you read Ender's Game.
Oh, absolutely. But don't worry about Xenocide.
You stole
Yeah.
Richard's moment, Martin.
Mhm.
That's awesome. All right. Is that our third idea? The AI, sparks the end of the world?
I feel like
Yeah.
it's too similar to the first one, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, we would be writing a completely different story, though.
Yeah.
We'd be writing the end of the world versus a haunted house.
Yeah, true.
It'd be like a disaster movie, you know? It could be like crashing airplanes into buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Too soon? Sorry, guys. Jesus. Everybody got real quiet. Martin, what is happening?
He had to blink, so he had to turn the camera off because it can't be captured.
He had to blink.
Can't let them see me. They'll know I'm weak. Say it's a
Skynet has
technological
eaten
error.
Martin. He hasn't moved. Yeah, I know. That's what we've been saying. Is there proof he isn't AI?
Not like hard proof.
There he is.
This could be a deep fake for all we
Yeah,
know.
this is computer animated. Yeah, this is the same stuff they used to fake the moon landing, I can tell.
Now you're just trying to wind me up.
I told him not to use Chrome. All right. All right.
I've always said that if I was a woman on the internet, I'd present myself as a middle-aged, balding English guy.
So now we'll never know.
No,
Could
but I've started
be a
getting
woman.
really weird PMs on Facebook. Mainly from Adrian.
Martin, those are private. Who's to say Martin isn't a woman? All right, chat. I need one more idea to throw into the poll, okay? So we've got the AI horror house. We've got camping, horror. What else? What's the third?
Just type
Plot
of
line.
phobia or something.
Yeah, something. Give me something,
Okay,
chat.
so
Come on.
you wake up in the middle of the night. It's pitch dark. There's a bit of moonlight coming through the curtains. You see a silhouette at the end of your bed. You turn on the bedside light and you realise it's Dickie, and he's telling you his same 5 jokes, and also he's been living in your spare room the whole time. No!
Terrifying. Terrifying. Just
I am
being that
from
close to
Croydon.
him.
It's my family seat.
What was that?
Estuary.
Yeah. That's called deflection, Richard. Can the poll not just be a 3-way? Well, it is going to be a 3-way. We just need the third way. Imagine the thought of Dickie twitching your curtains. Ew. I don't know why, but that sounds disgusting. Sounds like erotica's back on the table.
Oh, I'll tell you what's a good horror film. Alien. Let's do that with birds and fish.
Alien.
So it's
with
like they
birds
go
and
find a
fish.
bird egg and bring it back, and the egg implants itself, but then
No.
a fish pops out of somebody's stomach.
No, you write it exactly like Alien. They're in the spaceship. They're traveling through space, and there's a fish.
Just
you
instead
know,
of the
and
xenomorph, it's
instead of it's the exact
fishes and
same
whales.
story. The
John
fish,
Hurt's like, man, this is good caviar.
Uh-oh. Is that Dr.
yes,
Pepper?
Dr. Pepper is the best soft drink.
Ooh, a new cult is the advanced team for the devil.
Ooh.
So, Antichrist.
The devil's like invasion of Earth.
Yeah, like end of the world type stuff. But there's like a cult.
Antichrist Wave 1.
Sure. Yeah. It's like a militarized team. It's like the Devil's SEAL Team 6.
It's like the Antichrist in a tech startup.
What? Explain.
Or like, what if an advanced team were like tech bros and they'd come up with Satan app, and that's how they were going to end everything.
Richard, I'm not going to put your latest comment on the screen because Kent's my friend and you're mean. All right. I like this idea. I like the culty group
devil thing. I can work with that.
Brings
for sure.
devil. All right, those are the three options. Vote away, you knuckleheads. All right, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. All right, now vote away. Okay, cool. And then once we settle on the plot that we're writing, we'll come up with a couple of like cool little like scene ideas that we want to throw in there, things that we want to see, and we'll outline this bad boy next week. We're moving right along. We're doing great. I love this first episode because it's very writer's roomy. It's just shooting ideas back and forth, shooting the shit. Like, I don't like that. I like this.
I don't like the other episodes that come with homework.
They were your idea. Wasn't this your idea, Martin? I feel like this was your idea. Wasn't this your idea?
I mean, I'll take the credit.
I don't know if it was or not, but no, it wasn't because maybe it was.
I mean, I did do an episode of this before we even started this on your channel, but yeah. But then I had to take it down.
You didn't have the mind of Adrian behind the beast. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have the visuals, you gotta have the charisma, right? The flashy.
I'm loving this. This is our cult leader.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Like, everyone's like, wow, he's so hairy, he's so charismatic. Everyone take his sister wife and come over.
So the real source of your jealousy rears its ugly head. You're jealous of the hair. That's what it comes down to.
We knew that to begin with.
Did we? I always thought of you as a very confident man.
Oh, it's just a raging ball of insecurity.
An AI named Satan?
Oh, that's a good title.
An AI named Satan. Who would name their AI Satan? That's like naming somebody Adolf. Like, you just don't do it.
It's
Have
secure. It's a stands for something.
System analytics and
textual.
Also
and
timers.
Yeah.
Sentient, analytical, transmutative AI network.
Have you guys ever read I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream?
That sounds very familiar, but I know I haven't read it.
Philip K. Dick, I know it. Is that Philip K. Dick or is that Harlan Ellison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like basically humanity creates a AI computer to win the Cold War, and it just absolutely hates humans, so it keeps like a handful alive just to torture them, and like can completely transmogrify them into like different things, and it's just a bit of a mindfuck.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, it's well worth checking out.
Love the title.
Hey Martin, earlier when you said that you weren't going to be able to make time to get to the wig shop, was this why? Was it the hair envy? Because I didn't get that joke at all. It went right over my head.
I mean, normally it's fine, but when I'm with two bloody Jesus lookalikes, I suddenly feel like I stand out a hell of a lot more than I usually do.
You know what? I always
We can all wear
considered-
hats next week. We'll just all wear
Hey,
hats.
yeah, I tried to help you out, man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put any product in it, so
we
it's kind
all
of dry.
throw
So
it
I
up
just-
into a hat. We're all equal. Doesn't matter.
we
No one
can
will
shut
know.
the lights off. We're all bald in the dark.
Yeah. Well, we're sharing our screens next week anyway, so we're just a bunch of disembodied voices. It won't matter.
Well, we'll be like back and forth. Like, they'll see us. They'll see us. All right, let me see what we got going on. So far, the AI horror house idea is winning, which makes me happy, but that's also our most developed idea so far, so that makes sense. What color is your wig going to be, Martin?
Oh, just like 70s rocker.
Self-aware theological assertion network.
That's good.
I like it. I like it. You know what? That could even be...
Like if somebody's designing a piece of software and puts it into the title that it's self-aware, it's bad news to begin
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Don't know.
It's a red flag for sure.
You know you're messing with stuff you shouldn't.
Start, hoarding supplies and build a bunker because D-Day's coming, bro. Multicolored clown wig. What do we got here? Sentient analytical, what? Tautological augmented network. It would be like the Calm app with the rain sounds that make one have to potty every 30 minutes. So like the app makes you do things with like audible cues and vibrations and stuff.
Subliminal messages.
Yeah, it makes you like throw up by, making your spine vibrate or something. All right, so looks like that's the poll. Let's throw it up.
Dude, speaking of sounds as scary, have you ever listened to the sound that the U.S. military developed for the Vietnam War? And they would play it over loudspeakers at night to demoralize.
I have heard about this. I didn't want to listen to the sound.
Yeah, check that shit out. That's fucked up. That'll give you.
I know they.
It's really
they
weird.
They recorded like Vietnamese people being like, "Oh, cool. Really wish I hadn't gone to fight against the Americans, and now I'm dead." And things like that.
This one's way more like psychological and twisted. Like I think it has Vietnamese, religious, subliminal, like messed up stuff. Just really, just dark, demoralizing audio. It's if you want to feel unhappy, I highly recommend it.
There's a dude that I follow on that I subscribe to on YouTube. I forget his name, but he's what's it called? Like a body language, expert. And so like he breaks down interview footage and like shows you people's like tells and things that we all do and how to figure out a baseline and all that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting. He'll use like actual famous people to like show you, like the Will Smith thing when he slapped Chris Rock. That whole like 2 months after that, he was just breaking down like every bit of footage with Will Smith in it and Jada and like showing like who's lying and who's feels really pissed about something. And it's just really interesting because like one of the things Will Smith does an interview with Trevor Noah, and the first thing that Will Smith says is "kind sir." He addresses Trevor Noah as "kind sir," and like the dude stops it right there. He's like, "All right, let's talk about that right away," because like that just like that's a very priming kind of behavior. Shannon's talking about priming in the chat, and it's like, yeah, you're paying him a compliment so he feels good. You're giving him a title that he's going to want to hold on to. He wants to be the kind sir that you think that he is, so he's going to be kind. And sir shows like this like respect, kind of like we're on the same level kind of dealy. So he gets comfortable, like all these little things that you can do to like ease somebody into a conversation or manipulate how they're going to take it. It's very interesting stuff. It is a weather balloon, a Chinese weather balloon. All right, y'all. Let's see. We settled
on
the
idea that there's an AI
horror house.
I like the idea that there's an AI that can read your body language and sort of not quite read your mind, but get a good part of the way there and use that against you.
Yeah.
That would be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of plays into in the theology behind exorcisms and stuff. Like demons aren't supposed to be able to actually read your mind, but they are like far beyond human intelligence, so they can kind of read subtle cues that would practically make it seem like they're reading your mind. So the AI could be like, have that kind of same idea. Make it creepy.
Yeah, man.
And it sort of like blends the whole idea of, is this a technological phenomenon or is this actually a supernatural phenomenon?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, way back in the early days of the internet and stuff, when Lost was still on, Lost played with this stuff. You know, they would have dude sitting at the computer and all of a sudden he gets a message, right? And yes, it could be a hacker communicating with him. It could be one of, you know, their enemies pretending to be a friend, or like maybe the thing is haunted. You know what I mean? Like the computer could be haunted by a ghost, and the ghost is communicating with you. Like it could, the kind of like vagary of it is kind of terrifying.
John Scalzi, you know John Scalzi?
I do not.
Brilliant sci-fi writer. He did a great short story from the point of view of someone who's woken up to find that they are a brain in a jar. Like you could do something interesting with someone being like, "Why am I in a computer? I didn't used to be in a computer. Where are my hands gone? I liked those."
That'd
be really interesting and very hard. I feel like a lot of my writing is based off of the sensory stuff of the point of view character. So I don't know how to describe senses from a brain in a jar or a program without making it sort of like, what's it called? Anthropomorphizing it into something that could work as a human. You know,
well, immediately my first thought is that if it's a brain in a jar, it used to be alive. It used to be a human. It knows what those feelings used to feel like. And so my first idea is like phantom limbs, right? Folks who have lost a limb, they can still feel it. They feel like a tingling, like pins and needles, even though it's not there. And so like you're a brain, you don't have all those senses anymore, but you remember them. And so you have like phantom senses, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you
I
should
think
be
Speaker
smelling.
for the Dead does have... He does some chapters that are from POV of the AI girl, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's been forever since I wrote it. I think it writes from... It writes from the AI's point of view, recalling its own conception into existence. It was really interesting. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Adrian, read Speaker for the Dead. But by next week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll hop right on it. Looks like my Wi-Fi is slowly improving. I'm a little less fuzzy now.
Nice. Yeah, you are clear.
Yeah, not 100. Oh, I spoke too soon. I just dropped again.
Now he's engaging in the staring contest.
I swear, man. My Wi-Fi. And it's just the upload speed. Like my download speed, I just checked my speed. My download speed is kicking, but my upload speed, which is what I actually need right now, is just tanking. And then later, when I don't need it, it's going to be awesome. It's really annoying. Reminds me of the thing in the Matrix. Everything tastes like chicken because the machines couldn't figure out how it tastes. Yeah. It reminded me again of Altered Carbon, right? Because the idea in that series is that everybody's consciousness gets downloaded into their stack, their whole life's memory, everything about them, and so that can get transferred into a new body, which they call a sleeve. But in the meantime, when it's not in a physical body, when it's not actually doing anything, the consciousness is just kind of trapped in that device, and so there's like a hologram world almost that they just kind of live in, and it's this like never-ending dream, and some people even like go mad in there because they just are in there for so long in between bodies. Like that kind of stuff is kind of interesting. The idea of like you just losing your mind because you're just stuck in a place, somewhere deep inside you. It's weird.
Do you want to do something with like if you can put your consciousness in a computer, then you're like a JPEG, and it can just be duplicated and deleted, and this has probably already happened several times.
Yeah, because that's if you are a piece of AI, like it's a like you said, it's like a JPEG. It's a piece of data. You can copy it. You can have multiple in Altered Carbon.
NFTs for people.
In Altered Carbon, double sleeving is a thing, right? Like you could just copy yourself into another stack and have two of yourself, and and it's illegal in that world. It's like a pretty serious crime. Like it's pretty messed up, pretty interesting stuff. Like just consciousness as a file that you can download.
Is the TV show better than the book?
The first season is excellent. The first season is fantastic, especially the actor playing the character. Joel Kinnaman is the actor. Fantastic, really, really good.
From Mankind.
I know him from The Killing and the failed RoboCop reboot. But yes, he's very, very good. And that first season is excellent. The second season, I feel, suffered from the recasting. The whole like magic of that show is that you can have a new actor playing the character every season, so you can get really big name actors who don't want to commit to 6 seasons in a movie or whatever, right? But they'll do 1 season. But they got Anthony Mackie to do it in the second season, and his take was just so different. It didn't feel like the same character, and so I didn't like care about him as much as I cared about the first season. So like I don't know, like the second season kind of lost me, but the first season was great. I recommend that first season. It's really good, and I just love like a lot of the sci-fi ideas in it. All right, so we're doing the AI horror house. We're doing the hacker thing, torturing a person. We already have the 3 kind of acts, right? We have the first act is him discovering this horrible person when he hacks them. The second act is him terrorizing this person into thinking their house is haunted. Then the third act is his own house is actually haunted. Whether it's AI or a ghost or however we do it, that's the 3 act. How are we feeling about those 3 acts? I kind of like it.
Sounds promising.
Yeah.
All right. Any big moment ideas that you guys want to throw in there? Things that little tentpole moments, things that you would love to get a chance to write. It was a robo flop.
We've all been there, right, lads?
Hey. It doesn't happen to every guy, and it is a big deal. The soul market became the new indentured servitude. What are we talking about here? I feel out of...
I did once kick an idea around where when you die, you end up being put in one of those self-service checkouts.
Happy writing, Shannon. Oh, yeah, dude, I hate those self-service checkouts. I really, really hate those. There was a point where they were more stacked in the sleeves. Yeah. So people just waiting around and just like losing their minds inside their stacks. Oh, we did that one. Sorry, Martin, what were you about to say?
I like the idea of kind of like, I'm not quite like in the Matrix, but having a guy hacking away at a computer, and they're like, implementing all these, things that seem like spooky, haunted stuff, like turning a freezer off and making a dryer boiling a kettle from afar, but like better, or like ringing the doorbell. Video doorbells are creepy. There's a lot of potential for creepiness with video doorbells.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Having the AI house, we can do all kinds of stuff like that. Cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Cameras showing things that aren't there, not showing things that are there.
Yeah. Like the AI art app that was on TikTok. Like, you point it to where there is no one and look for ghosts and find like little spirits in your room.
Whenever anyone talks about getting like nanny cams or like doorbell cams, I'm just like, no, they are such a security weakness for your network. Just don't even know.
I don't want like nanny cams or any cameras inside the house, but the peephole camera I kind of like. I kind of like that. See who comes up to your door. Even if somebody hacks into that, they're just like they're not looking into your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like those feeds are really insecure, and those you're like,
I'm sure they are. Yeah,
easier stuff to get into.
Yeah, deadly game of Big Brother. Exactly. He can turn up the temperature like way up, turn it way down. You feel like that whole like ghost thing where like suddenly it's very cold, suddenly you're sweating, like you don't understand what's going on.
I'm gonna vote for the ghost to leave this week because he's been making everybody really miserable with his haunting antics.
Who's that supposed to be, Martin?
That's some contestant on Big Brother.
From about 20 years ago when I last saw it.
Doorbell cams are a gateway to your home networks. I get it. I don't have one. I don't plan on having. I just kind of like the idea of knowing who's at your door at all times.
There was like a whole thing about how a kettle, it's a kettle or a fridge. It's a thing you replace maybe every 10 years, and they don't get firmware updates, and that's the problem. And I'm thinking, whilst that's definitely true, if I could make the kettle boil by the time I get there, it sounds fairly reasonable in terms of trade.
Is it really that important? How long does it take to get the kettle to boil? What, 7 minutes?
Well, a well-known proverb is that if you're watching them, it never actually happens.
But that's not true, because I've watched pots that have boiled.
Yeah,
takes a lot longer, though.
No one judges book covers either, do they?
Internet of Things. A literal nanny cam. Quite terrifying. You would probably like the stovetops you can turn off and on remotely. Yeah, if you forgot to turn off your oven and you left the house, you can turn it off remotely. That's pretty helpful.
Kind of like the idea, though. So it's like, I don't know, I'm imagining like a teenager or something, like some tech-savvy teenager, but somebody who's smart enough to do all the hacking, but still like juvenile enough to get kicks out of like, I'm just going to make this guy think his house is haunted. And maybe it's like some adult that pissed him off or something. So he starts doing that. And then as he's like doing that and spying, sees some messed up stuff.
I think the trick for a project like this... The trick for a project like this is try and make it easy, as easy as you can for yourself to write something in the allotted time and not get too clever. With that said, in terms of the horror, I think you might be able to do something clever with the creepiness of being an older person in this world that's become ever more technological in a way you don't quite understand or are able to opt out of.
Yeah. Especially if it's like an older, like assisted living type, like assisted living becomes more automated, done by machines more than nurses, stuff like that.
That might be too close to a hotel for Adrian's comfort.
What is hotel you don't check out of until you check out of life.
I'm just writing down our acts and any of these little tentpole ideas that we want to throw in there. So please continue while I get this up real quick.
I just think it's really creepy if like you're the hacker, you're messing with somebody trying to make them think their house is haunted, and while you're doing all this spying, you see them engage in like some eyes wide shut cult ceremony thing, And then your house starts being literally haunted.
Okay, so all right, that makes me want to compromise with you a little bit because I'm really into the idea of this person, this hacker, uh, wanting to punish the other person, wanting to, inflict terror on them, and then have it turned on him. So it could be a marriage of those two ideas. This one and the one that you just said, where he starts out wanting to punish them, and he's terrorizing their house, and they might actually think there's something in my house. My house is haunted. Something's going on. They don't know that it's a hacker, right? So they turn to their knowledge of the occult that this person didn't know they have or didn't understand how much they were into it, and they put out like this their own dark spell. And so while he's terrorizing them with technology, they in turn terrorize him with their dark magic. He just, and they're kind of sending it out into the ether, right? Like whoever's attacking me, I'm sending fire back to them, and he's like experiencing all this stuff, and it would be interesting to play with him as a point of view character, because if he's a hacker, he's a very techno kind of dude. All of a sudden he's dealing with something very supernatural. I think that would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Are we on his side, or are we waiting to see his downfall?
I think
now it sounds like you're on his side, but neither of them are really good people.
Both kind of shitty. I mean, he feels probably, the old adage of the villain doesn't think that they're a villain; they think that they're the hero. So this guy thinks that he's doing this great thing by punishing this person that he feels deserves it. But really, he's a hacker. But even before that, he's going into people's personal computers. He's looking through their personal stuff. He's an invasive, creepy dude in and of himself by doing that. Just the act of invading their privacy. So yeah, definitely an anti-hero. If
there was a court case. Was it?
It's very Mr. Robot. If you've never seen it, highly recommend Mr. Robot. Fantastic.
There was a big court case a good couple of years ago now about celebrity nude photos leaking.
Oh yeah, sure.
Was
What's
it
happening?
Scarlett?
It was all of them.
It's a major historical
Johansson,
event. The fappening.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a name.
There was this guy who he basically found there was like a really obvious way to get into people's devices through a default password that came with most apps or something. And he would just look through people, like celebrities' phones, and he wasn't necessarily looking for that content. He was just reading call sheets for movies and early script drafts for things that weren't public, and just the thrill of going in and being able to do it, and downloaded this nude photo, and months later was talking to someone else about it and was just sort of bragging and shared it with them, and they were the one that made it spread like wildfire. And I think that's kind of an interesting character point for this hacker who, is just getting into people's home networks and, being able to look through the cameras and do that, and not necessarily looking for trouble so much as, just being a bit of a voyeur.
Yeah.
And just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I like that.
I like it a lot. It's a good character piece. 17th century house with all the hidden spaces gets remodeled. Sorry, Martin, to have all the smart home perks, but it doesn't cover the hidden areas. The hacker thinks he is a vigilante and punishes the untouchable. But evil, wealthy witch, she finally kills herself. Then her ghost haunts him. But in reality, she frogs him and haunts. By the way, I forgot to mention earlier, as we as a team are writing this over the course of the next 4 weeks, you, the audience, are also welcome, obviously, to write your own version of this ridiculous story that we're all coming up with together. So please do, and we're going to share all the different versions on the Facebook page. It's going to be great. Very cool, man. I like this idea. This is nifty. All right, hold on. Did I just say nifty? What the hell's wrong with me? All right, hold on. Share screen. Milanot. Biggity bam. All right, so we've got 3 acts. We got hacker discovers a creepo needing to be punished. We got haunting the creepo. And then we've got turning the tables. The hacker's house is now haunted. Or the hacker himself, however you want to look at it. You know what? This is a little hard for y'all to see, so let's do this. All right, cool. Cool. All right. Now we were talking about like little tentpole moments that we wanted to see. Martin, I'm really liking your take on the character, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm really liking that. How would you like me to summarize that here so we don't forget it later?
How to use words that don't make it sound terrible. Techno voyeur. Sorry, that's a hard word to spell. But
I know how to spell voyeur.
You put like the fascinating.
I've been to Pornhub. I know how to write voyeur. Okay, go ahead. Techno voyeur. Continue, Martin.
I thought 2 words would be enough.
No, more.
My notes are very streamlined.
I had to go grab a cord real quick.
Yeah, dude.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, so techno voyeur
enjoys looking on people's networks for the thrill of like the technical accomplishments rather than creepy weirdo-ness.
All right, and then he stumbles across
evil
stuff. Stumbles upon evil things. That was the thing with that was the thing that like blew my mind about that Alex Jones trial. Did you see that? Where
I did not.
Okay, so he was. It's a long. The background on it is, for years, Alex Jones has been claiming that school shootings are not real, that they are staged because people want to take away their guns or whatever, right? So he's an idiot. So he that's what he was saying about the Sandy Hook shooting, which was a very terrible shooting. He was saying that the parents who were grieving on TV were paid actors. Like, he was talking all kinds of shit about these people and this horrible thing that happened. And he was doing it like the next day, like no mourning period.
I'd love to know how much you'd have to pay an actor to take a role like that.
Oh my God, right?
Which would mean they would never be able to work as an actor again.
Conspiracy theories are freaking ridiculous. So, especially this one. But anyway, the parents end up suing him, and it's finally gone to trial. And he and his legal team are supposed to present the other counsel with all of the stuff on his phone pertaining to Sandy Hook, right? He's supposed to do a search throughout all of his data everywhere. Anything related to Sandy Hook, he's got to turn it over to them. They kept, beating around the bush, avoiding actually turning it over, blah, blah, blah. When his lawyers finally do it, they accidentally forward Alex Jones's entire phone. Not just the Sandy Hook stuff, but literally everything that was on it. They sent it to the opposition. And during discovery, they show up and they're like, hey, I don't know if you guys meant to do this, but you sent us everything. And not only do we have all this Sandy Hook stuff, but how about all this kiddie porn stuff? What's that about? And you're like, oh no! Like, dude, everything blew up for this guy. It's crazy. So that's what comes to mind, right? Like, you're looking for one thing, and then you end up discovering something much more horrible than you could have ever imagined, right?
Do you know Bad Blood, the book about Theranos?
Oh no, I thought you meant the animated DC movie.
No. There's been like TV shows about it now, but there was this startup in Silicon Valley called Theranos, where they were developing a machine where you could prick your finger and that little drop of blood would be able to do everything you usually have to have a full-on, needle draw a load of blood to do the test on. And at some point, they just started basically using other blood analyzing machines from other companies and watering down samples, and basically it was a fraud, and it all went to court. And again, like a load of the founders' personal text messages were put on the court record, and just that, like reading it, there was a bit of me just shuddered at the idea of you've got a company valued in the tens or hundreds of millions, you're flying around on private jets, and your most personal conversations can still be subpoenaed into the public domain. That just, in terms of like horror and things being creepy, that got under my skin a bit. It's a bit where Adrian's muted.
No, I got muted. I was gonna say number one, that's terrifying, and number two, Mike, you're triggering Martin's anxiety by combing through your hair like that. He's barely holding it together as it is. Don't taunt the man.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you just fine. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're sounding great. All right, so in Act 1, we're introduced to our techno voyeur who enjoys looking through people's networks for the thrill of the technical accomplishment, but he stumbles upon evil things. Now, this guy is going to decide to take matters into his own hands, and essentially haunt this creep that he has found. Why doesn't he go to the cops? Why doesn't he do anything else? Like, why is this?
Because he's hacked into their network, and any
illegally
reporting would have to start with. So anyway, I've been watching them through their own security cameras.
Well, he could like anonymous tip, leave an anonymous tip or something. So it should probably be something like whatever he sees that he doesn't like isn't like that bad. Like, maybe the dude's a dick, but he's not a psychopath yet.
What if it's somehow? I was just gonna say, what if it's somehow personal to him? Whether it's something that was done to somebody he loves or knows, or somehow it affects him, and he decides this is about me now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Cat Bin Lady?
What is it? Catman Lady?
Cat Bin Lady.
No, I don't know what this is.
I think it was about Richard. How long ago was Cat Bin Lady? Like not 10 years, but more than 5. The CCTV caught this. Mike, are you familiar with Cat Bin Lady?
Cat Bin Lady. Not that I know of though.
It was this old lady who
everything.
was walking along a street not knowing that there was CCTV, and she saw a cat and she saw a bin, and she sort of looked around to check no one's looking, was just like, I'm going to put this cat in the bin. Won't be able to get out.
For all the Americans out there, that means a trash can. The bin is a trash can.
Our viewers are not that ignorant, Adrian. You've got to respect the audience. You can't talk down to people. They hate it.
Fair enough. my bad. 2010-ish. 2010-ish. Okay, so this has and we'll figure this out during our outlining and everything. Right now, we're just throwing ideas in there. So I'm gonna.
That was
Can we
short
just
one.
point out how
Fair.
great
Well-
the internet is at naming things? I mean, Cat Bin Lady is
Yeah,
the perfect name.
yeah, that does sum it up pretty well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The offense is somehow personal to the hacker. He takes it upon himself to punish this person by using their smart house against them to appear haunted. All right, cool. And then when they switch it around, it's because the person. Now, if the person he's attacking retaliates with dark, evil, magic of some sort, right? Is the offense that he finds somehow related? Does he find like occult stuff? Does he find? Is he a Freemason? What are we talking about here?
I think what we need to do is the person I think we need to be on Technovoya or TV's side when he decides to take matters into his own hands.
Right.
But I think we should feel that he's right to take action, but he takes a disproportionate response.
He goes too far. At a certain point, he crosses the line. He goes too far.
Yeah.
So then we want the repercussions to come back on him.
Or at least
Maybe
we
not,
don't
but you're
feel-
still like, that was too far.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like that thing of the equivalent of punching someone until they fall down and then stamping on them. You want the reader to be like, TV, what you playing at?
Yeah. Like, dude, rein it in. Pull it back. You've gone too far. She threw a cat in the trash. Jeez. People will do anything. All right. So, how are we feeling? Feels pretty good?
Technovoya versus Cat Bin Lady, bring it on.
Yeah. So it's that's so Cat Bin Lady's a witch.
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't she have kept the cat if she was a witch? Witches love cats, right?
Well, they do usually, yeah.
And
No,
if they're
they
going to kill the cat,
If
they're
they're
use its part
familiar. Yeah,
Like
that
it
could be
was,
good potion supplies. The insides of a
Yeah,
cat.
exactly. Yeah, throw the eyeballs in a potion or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cat Bin
So
Lady
she doesn't have to be a
uses.
witch. Have you ever heard of
Go ahead.
uses what?
I was going to say Cat Bin Lady
um,
uses the cat parts to cast the spell against Techno Hacker guy.
Have you ever heard of like the evil eye? It's kind of like a idea of like anybody could cast a spell without even knowing it if they're like sufficiently malevolent or have like a sufficient desire or hatred or something. I don't really know all the rules behind it, but it's that like anybody could have an evil eye. Witches did. It kind of comes from, I think, medieval superstition about witches.
It's an interesting thought because it's
Yeah.
kind of like that idea that if you give 100 monkeys some typewriters or whatever, eventually they'll write you a Shakespearean, play.
Curse you with an evil eye.
Right? So like just banging on the keys, eventually something will make sense. Somebody is just talking nonsense. At some point, they might actually speak an actual spell and not know it. Not know they're doing it. It's interesting.
I like the idea of this guy is going into cameras, like watching people's camera feeds, and maybe someone else is watching him, watching people on camera feeds, and someone's probably watching them, watching him.
I like that. I like that.
So wait a minute, you gotta make it into a joke though. He's watching people on their camera feed. Somebody's watching him, and then the people that he's watching are watching that guy. And it's just an infinite.
It's like the
loop of people
post-credit
watching
scene from
each
Men in
other.
Black,
Yeah, he just
where it
pull out.
zooms all the way out, and it's aliens playing marbles. Is
Yeah.
like the universe.
Yeah.
It's basically Gogglebox. You guys won't know what that means, but Richard will get it, and he won't find it funny.
Thank you for doing that then. Fantastic. Watching me, watching you.
Aha!
I was cooking from an antique cookbook and I summoned a demon on accident. I like the
salt.
idea, Mike. I
Wrong
like the
kind of
idea,
salt.
Mike, of like the person like defends themselves with a spell unknowingly. You know what I mean? Like they're not a witch. They just did the thing that needed to be done for this to happen. And now the other guy's dealing with the terrorizing.
I like the idea that someone's got an old spell book in with their recipe books and is down the supermarket looking for Eye of Newt.
Gogglebox is literally a show that watches people watch television.
He never
That-
appreciates my jokes.
Isn't that also that sci-fi show where they would watch B movies and it was like people's like little robots silhouettes up?
Oh,
front,
yeah,
and it was
Mystery
just
Science
dudes
Theater
making
3000.
comments. Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah,
That was
big fan.
People watching people watch movies.
That's
that
true.
show is great.
They did it before anybody else. That's true. Yeah, now we
Yeah.
have reaction videos on YouTube. Now it's like a whole like industry. People are paying their rent, making
6
money
figures off that.
with, dude, nuts.
Whoa, that's a crazy concept. I just did my reaction video to Adrian, so I don't have to do it later.
Well done. I'll get it. I'll fix it in post. All right, guys.
And now I have to
think-
pay a royalty to AuthorTubers React.
Yeah, you do. All right, dudes. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I feel like we have a solid idea. I think that outlining it next week is going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll split it up into pieces and write it the week after that, and we'll edit it on the 4th week and read it at the end of the episode. That's the plan, anyway.
All right.
Cool.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to cover today before we head out? Anything else missing from this little brainstorming phase before we wrap it up? I got a pantser and somebody who can't work without spreadsheets on here, so I guess it's just up to me.
It's all going to be tears
Yeah,
before
I'm just-
bedtime.
I'm waiting for the writing. That's
The
where
actual writing, yeah,
all of my
that's next week.
stuff comes
It's-
from. Yeah.
You got to consider outlining writing. That's the problem with pantsers, is they think that outlining is different somehow from writing. Then it's the same thing. It's like micro and macro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, if I
It's
think
like-
of it as the same thing, it's like I had to do it twice then.
Well,
no, I
you
think
know-
it's the opposite.
well,
Like if
you know, go ahead.
okay, you speak. It's your channel.
No, I defer to you, sir.
Well, it's like if I write all the things I want to happen, and then I can sit down and write a neat draft. That's called outlining. If you do the exact same thing, you call it a first draft.
Yeah, the adage from Terry Pratchett is that the first draft is you telling yourself the story, and then Neil Gaiman adds that the second draft is making it look like you knew what you were doing all along. The beauty of outlining is that it can, if you are detailed enough in your outlining, it can take the place of your first draft, and then your first draft after that is actually quite clean and closer to a second draft. Also, if you're a pantser, you might not want to go too detailed on your outline. Just basic ideas like a plot structure, basically. You know, this is my story. It's going to go through these beats, and then split them up and write each one into chapters or whatever you're doing, and go that way.
I mean-
If you get more detailed, then your actual writing feels more like a second draft. Martin?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I can get completely stuck on an outline and spend weeks trying to fix a problem, and that's annoying. But if it was stopping writing a draft for weeks because I was stuck, that would just be insufferable.
Yeah, I intend on outlining this next novel by hand first, and outlining it like a normal novel length, like a good 50,000 words. Like that'll be my outline, and then turn that into a Books by Adrian book because it needs to be at least 3 times that size.
Yeah.
That's probably too far the other way.
No, not far enough. Let's make it 4 times. I love epics, man. Big books that you can like dig into
You
for
like
like a
big
month.
books and you cannot lie.
You other brothers can't deny. All right, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you guys the floor one last time. Tell people what you have coming up. If you have a story coming out, a book coming out, if you have a book out right now, you know which one of you I'm thinking about. Mike, you're up first. What do you got, bud?
I have a few things that I'm working on and like close to done, but I don't have any of the like publishing plans set in stone yet. So sometime probably the first half of this year, I will have some new stuff published, but nothing in the immediate future.
Cool. I at least have your website in the description down below. Anybody can find you that way and branch out to the rest of your online presence, and keep tabs. Martin, what do you got going on, bud?
Book 2, the McMurdo Triangle, second book in the McMurdo Rift series, launched 2 weeks ago and has been remarkably successful. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's taken time to read it and leave a review, and that has meant the world to me. And we are looking to have book 3, the McMurdo War, released this year.
And we're all looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to read the McMurdo Triangle. I haven't had a chance yet. For everybody, Mythic, The Death and Rebirth of Bella Erdman. This is the prologue, direct lead-in to my upcoming debut novel. It is 99 cents for the ebook, available at all your favorite booksellers. Link down below. If you have already read the story and you don't want to buy it, makes a lot of sense to me. Leave me a review on it. And that way, help me out anyway. And if you do buy it, also leave me a review on it. Ooh, glossy. Yes, I know. I went for the gloss. On the next one I do, which will be a short story collection, I'll try the matte and I'll see which one of the two I like better. But for this one, I went with glossy. And
Richard is a militant book formatter, and if you don't format it exactly as he likes it, he will never shut up about it. And if you do format it exactly as he likes it, he will still never shut up about it. So do what you want.
Don't look at my short story collections.
Hey, Richard is basically the fourth in this show because he's just been, monopolizing the chat. So let's go ahead and pitch his stuff as well. Price War. Awesome. Go check it out. Pretty cool that it's out. Pretty exciting stuff. February to be read has both McMurdo books on it. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. What else? Oh, it needs to be at least 3 times that size. That's what she said. I know. All right, y'all. Thank you all very, very much for being here. And next Sunday, be back. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to be writing the outline, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We are not allowed to work on this project off air. This only happens on air across these 4 Sundays. So please do not work on this whatsoever in the week between now and then. Martin, I'm looking at you. All right. Right on, writers. We out.